York, coming off of a crazy wild card weekend last week. The divisional playoffs got off to quite the start yesterday. Rich Eisen, Steve Mariucci, Kurt Warner, Joe McCoy. Are we going to do it? We can just bring them on. Come on in here.
All right.
Come on.
Come on.
Max is here.
How you doing?
Good to see you.
My God. Good to see you.
Talk about Lightning McQueen. There he comes around.
Boys, how we
Scooter
doing?
McQueen.
Hey, Kurt, man, that's what condors do. They soar in.
No, we flying.
Here's
on that thing.
Let's get that swim move coming in here.
Let's do it.
Roll him in.
Max Crosby is back with us, and I was going to say he was going to join us later on, but he's now here officially for all 4 hours.
Hey, listen, he's bluey.
He is.
He's blue.
I like
He got the memo.
I like it. I like it very much. And by the way, it's only fitting that you are here, Max Crosby, because you are the only one who got the Saturday night game correct. And we relive it not just because you got it right, but because you Ric Flaired your lone wolf. Check it out.
See this.
Let's check it out. I'm going against the grain here. I'm going Commanders with a crazy upset. Jayden Daniels solidifies himself as a superstar.
All right. Do it.
You got to howl.
We need to work
on the wolf. Ric Flair, though, he's a legend. So.
But like Jayden Daniels, he's not a television rookie anymore. You know what I mean? Next, if he does lone wolf somebody, I think you're going to give it a little bit more than that. All right, so you ready for highlights?
So ready.
I know it's a filet mignon, which was the night game. Jared Goff and the Lions coming off of the bye week, only the first time ever that they've been a 1 seed off of a 15-win regular season. But here comes the kid into their house, Dan Campbell. Second and goal from the 2. It's Brian Robinson Jr. First career postseason touchdown for that. 2nd and 14 from their own 18. Tim Patrick's the intended target, but he hits Quan Martin right between the numbers. Martin going for the touchdown. And Frankie Louvu treats. Next Commanders drive, Jayden Daniels. Chunk play it, kid.
Look at
De'Ami Brown. He's turning into Art Monk. Who is this guy?
Read your eyes. Just catch the ball with your hands.
What a cat. Posting any postseason quarter ever. Next Lions drive, Jared Goff.
Oh!
Don't do that.
Is that a Michigan man?
It's Mikey Sandra still back in the state of Michigan. Making the pick, no points. Deep into the Ben Johnson bag of tricks, except this one is not a treat. It is a trick. Another interception from Mikey Sandra, still first rookie with 2 interceptions in a postseason game. Their playoff streak, their playoff losing streak ends their championship game drought streak. They're back in it since 1991 for the first time.
It just hurts to lose, man. And I don't care if you're the 7 seed, 6 seed, 5 seed, 1 seed, because I've lost at all of them damn near. And it stings, and it hurts. When you lose these games, man, it's like the players, you know. What they put into it, a lot of people don't know, you know, what they go through. You have to get up. Bodies beat the and, you know, mentally stay locked in and do those things. It's my fault. It's my fault.
That's who he is, and we feed off his emotion, his energy, and he believes in us, and he loves us, and he cares for us, and he puts everything he has in it for us as well. And yeah, we're extremely disappointed in ourselves as well.
So, the Commanders will be on the road for the NFC Championship game. At the winner of the game, we're taking you to kickoff 2 here on NFL Game Day morning, while the Chiefs await the winner of the Ravens-Bills game. Highly anticipated contest. What a game last night. And I understand that the Lions getting 1 and done is significant news. 15 wins, most successful regular season in the history of the Lions, and still their last playoff win was divisional round last year. Jayden Daniels, man, those are the only 3 words I can say throwing it to you.
Well, and that's the headline yesterday, is that I don't know if this kid knows he's in the NFL. He doesn't know he's on the road against the #1 seed in the playoffs, because it all looks the same. There is no panic. He starts the game the way he finishes the game. He is settled in. He makes play after play. You talked about how many 4th downs. Like, there's no pressure. Oh, we're going to go for it on 4th down every time. You need to just make a play. Okay, I'll make another play, and I'll make another play. And he just continues to check every single box that this kid is a superstar. And I know a lot of people were on me yesterday when I said I'm taking Jayden Daniels over Jared Goff. And it's not a knock on Jared Goff, who has been awesome all year long. It's about this kid and what I've seen from this kid all year long. And from start to finish this season, he has been under control. He knows what he's doing. He answers the bell every single time. And here we go again, taking him to the championship game. That is the story from yesterday, although there's a bunch of side stories, of course.
Look at the Commanders tweet, retweeting a near 10-year-old tweet from Jayden Daniels, actually 11 years now, saying, one day you guys are going to hear my name everywhere. And, yeah, that day's here, Gerald. That day's here.
Yeah, it is, man. He played great. But I said last week when we did our storylines that in order to win on the road, you got to pack a defense. And as great as Jayden Daniels have been, the Commanders packed their defense. That's 2 weeks in a row they've taken out top 5 offenses. They went to Tampa and took out the Bucs. They had a sack and a takeaway there. Then they go on the road to the #1 seed, and they have 2 sacks, a sack fumble, and 5 takeaways. If you want to win on the road, you got to pack a defense. As great as Jayden Daniels has been, this defense has been just as good, man. And this team is scary because both sides of the ball are playing collectively. And if they play like this, regardless of where they go next week, I don't know, man. The team could be in trouble. So I love what I've seen from this defense.
Yeah, you see what they did yesterday. Their energy is off the charts. Dan Quinn deserves a ton of credit. The way they had that defense humming, 5 turnovers against the best offense in the league, you don't see it. You haven't seen it all year. So you got to give a credit, obviously, to Jayden Daniels. What he's doing is literally historic. But that defense is flying around. They were making plays from start to finish. And when you have 5 turnovers, it doesn't matter where you're playing, you're not going to have a chance to win. So big credit to the Commanders. They're playing excellent football right now.
Yeah, and we would be remiss if we didn't compliment the Detroit Lions for the season that they had, guys. I mean, they're not going to be in the Super Bowl or all that stuff, but to have the season that they did with 15 wins, considering where they've come from over the decades, and it's become almost the story of the season, how these Detroit Lions are legitimate and the favorite and that sort of thing. And then you get all those injuries, especially on defense, and they had more yesterday. It was unbelievable to play that well on defense with 16 guys on IR, and then the best, they were relying on offense to win games, of course. They still scored 31 points with 5 turnovers. It's just an amazing story. So all of our hats are off to Detroit Lions. When they get healthy in another month or 2 or 3, look out. This team will be the favorite probably again for next year. But anyway, they ran into a buzzsaw with Washington. It's just a miraculous season.
But I think it's important you said that, to celebrate this, because we all remember how they were knocked out of the playoffs last year. Have that big lead in San Francisco, get knocked out. Unbelievable for them to bounce back from that, have a 15-win season.
Yes.
Now another disappointing out. You know, first round of the playoffs after winning 15 games at home. Dan Campbell is going to be vital in being able to galvanize the troops and bring them back after a couple really tough losses in the playoffs.
Yeah, and we will talk about the Chiefs' win over the Texans later on the show, because it was, yet again, Kelsey doing his thing and Mahomes doing his thing, but another Chiefs win where there's a lot of yeah buts. What happens if they have, let's say, the Ravens or the Bills coming into the town? And as for the Commanders, they're 1 win away from sending Jayden Daniels back to New Orleans, where he went to school, for a chance to win it all. Cam Wolf in Buffalo for that aforementioned Ravens-Bills game.
Good morning, Rich. I'm told Ravens top receiver Zay Flowers very unlikely to play today with a knee sprain. He's officially listed as doubtful, but he hasn't practiced in 2 weeks. I'm told he's progressing and has a chance to play next week if the Ravens advance, but a big loss for Baltimore's offense. As for the Bills, I talked to a couple players who were frustrated by the idea that they were home underdogs. For the first time in 42 games here, they will have a vendetta to prove. They're 9-0 at home this season, and Bills Mafia, I saw them already tailgating in this weather 8 hours before game time. Now to Mike Garafolo in Philly.
Cam, Stadium, cold, windy, and we've got the first flurries that just started to come down here, looking for about 2 to 4 inches of snow during the game. The Eagles practiced outside this week, did some wet ball drills. For the Rams, not a whole lot they could do to replicate it, but I covered them a couple of weeks ago on an even colder day against the Jets at MetLife Stadium. Sean McVay was confident his defense and run game would travel that day. They did, expecting that again today. Rich, they spent the week making sure they could try to contain Saquon Barkley a little better this time around.
Xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay của mình sẽ là làm video gì đây? Nhiều quá, không biết làm video gì. Đây, rất nhiều những sản phẩm mình đã chuẩn bị để tô màu để gửi tặng đến tất cả các bạn đây. Đấy, những sản phẩm chắc các bạn rất chi là quen thuộc, những đồ dùng, con vật đây. Và đồ dùng đi theo mình là hộp xăm màu của mình đây. Đây là những cây màu đầy màu sắc này, rất chi là tuyệt vời nha các bạn. Nếu các bạn thấy hay, hãy cho mình like và đăng ký kênh nha.
Ngâm City rồi cùng mình nhưng mà
Đây.